Rotary president, unite for all presidents of the Rotary Club of Puerto Rico the amiable pastors and pastors, fellow Rotarians, and guests of Rotary. I'm indeed very happy to be with you this night to discuss creating a club experience for members of the Rotary Club and to the world. But I think if my slides are not coming, I have my laptop. Sure. And I also have my well, I will continue because I said this shouldn't be a problem. Well, thank you for allowing me to sit while we do this presentation. What do we know about club experience? Well, when we say having a club experience, it is important for us to first of all understand what our learning objectives. Our first learning objective is to understand who we have. The second one will be to also know what we do as Rotarian and how we best achieve what is our experience or what makes us willing to be a Rotarian and be happy. The third one will be what are the strategies we can use to achieve these maximize the club can use to maximize these experiences if not given. Those are the three objectives I set out in this presentation. Now the first one, who are we as Rotarians? We all know Rotary comprises of three levels: Rotary clubs, Rotary clubs, and Interact clubs. And we all know that Rotary was established in 1905 by Paul B. Harris with three of his other friends on February 23rd, 1905. This starts of fellowship among friends resulted from Polaris' desire to have his friend come around with him to network on business and to fellowship together. It was not until 1917 that Rotary was able to do the first public project, which is a public convenience on the street of Chicago. Now, since then, Rotary has evolved. It went to Canada, England, South Africa, and many other parts of the world. But the important thing about Rotary is the fact that Rotary continues to grow. Now, we can then say that we have 1.4 million Rotarians and Rotaractors that are found in over 200 countries and geographical locations of the world. These are people who are leaders in their own business. These are people who shape the world so that we go to have this type of as as possible. Okay. I've gone with my so these are friends who came together. So Rotarians are neighbors, friends who fellowship and network together. They are leaders, problem solvers who see the world where people unite, take action to create a lasting change across the globe, in our community and in ourselves. This is what we are as Rotarians. And you can find this definition on the Rotary website. Now, the purpose for our being here today is to create a vibrant experience, create an experience for Rotarians, and for you to have a vibrant, okay, the learning objective are just been shown. Explain strategies where you unite. Sorry. Okay, you are already slowly. Continue. So this is where I am. Every club needs to be vibrant, to be a vibrant club. And what does it take to be a vibrant club? A vibrant club is a successful club and engages its members, conduct meaningful projects. It's flexible, tries new and fun ideas, and has unique identity. It should reflect diversity and personality of its members. Its ability to attract and engage its members are essential components of meaningful club experience. This summarizes what our presentation is going to be about. Because if your club is vibrant, to be an engaging club, to be a club that every member will want to be. And essentially, I want us to have this kind of interaction. For us, I want to know what makes you feel you have to come to the meeting. Because for some people, okay, maybe I should ask. I welcome the president of the Rotary Club of Nigeria, who is not joining, and Rotarian. Fellow Rotarians, can anyone tell me why he chooses to join? Can anyone tell me why he chooses to join? Okay, let's start with Dr. The latest. Why did you choose to be a Rotarian? That's my question.
From when I was a kid, my neighborhood, Rotary Club, they meet in Congress. So I've known about Rotary Club, and then I resisted joining for a long time until my friends joined. As a matter of fact, it was a good friend. Tunde, who visit Mila, who now said he started a blog and then after my job. But it's always the thing about friends.
Okay, now from what you have said, it shows that you are attracted to the club of Anthony by your network of friends. Who else wants to tell us how you joined Rotary or why you joined Rotary? Yeah.
I joined because Rotary Club of Anthony told me at my secondary school, I noticed they started a lot of things in my secondary school. I was opportunity to attend some of the projects that were conducted in my secondary school, and that was what attracted me to Rotary School.
So okay, you finished from that school.
Yes, I finished from the school.
So from what he has said, he was attracted to Rotary because of imparting service. Who else wants to share with us why? Yes, sir. Please sit down. Yeah, thank you very much. From what he has said, we'll go back to the same definition of who we are. He says, who sees the world? We see the world where people unite, take action to create a lasting change across the globe in our community and in ourselves. This is a summary of what the Rotarian is, or what we are as Rotarians. Now, he has just told us he likes giving and supporting good cause, but he feels he can do better when it's in congregation or in the midst of others, and they can be best impact the life of others. And that is really the real definition of who we are. Now, for us as Rotarians, everyone has his own experience. Now, there's what we call Rotary movement. Your Rotary movement, you may not have attained your Rotary movement as Rotarians now. For some, they have attained their Rotary movement. Rotary movement is that point where you feel, wow, this is the organization I joined. I can never leave this organization like that. That is your Rotary movement. When you have an experience that makes you feel that, wow, for this organization, I can't leave this organization like that. So that is your Rotary movement. That day that you have a wow experience, that Rotary through your mind, whether through an impactful service project, through a motivational speaker, through meeting people that you thought you never meet, through giving that change the life of that person. So that is what we call Rotary. Can you go to the next slide, please? Now, how do we create job experience? Now, what I usually ask people in every organization, every person, every one of us here is unique in our own way. None of us is identical. Even if we are twins, we will have some traits that makes us unique. And if that proves to us, we know that this is identity, this is identity. So also is a Rotary Club. Every Rotary Club has its own identity and culture. In your club, you know. Now, if you go to the Rotary Club Facebook, we have president of other Rotary Club. What makes the Rotary Club of Ghana tick different from what makes the Rotary Club of Revolution Lagos tick? May be different from what makes the Rotary Club of Anthony tick. Why do I say this? Because every club is different. Members of the club have some attraction to that club for what they do. For instance, the Rotary Club of Agada, I want to imagine that because it's number one club, the biggest club, and people get there and meet a lot of crowd and see their achievements, they feel they want to belong to a successful club. Whereas for Lagos Revolution, it could be that the people in there see themselves as startups, people who are growing and have the same vision and are looking at life together. Say, for instance, they have business partners, there are people who are still struggling to settle down with their families, they have common problems that they want to solve, and they feel that best solve it. Or perhaps they see themselves as people who go out to gel and enjoy themselves in life. That becomes their own identity. For instance, I used to say every club has its own identity. For us, we started out as a club of pastoral travelers, literally pastoral travelers. All of us were highly pastoral travelers. We only had two guys among us. And we started meeting on Sundays. And after a while, we realized it was not convenient for some of us on Sunday. We're actually limiting our meetings to our various houses, just like school started. Now we now turn into the Lalale Friday. That becomes a party club that you want to hang out with your friends on Friday, became our identity. And in process, we started doing a lot of service with them along with it. Today, I can say that that same culture still dwells in Ghana South. One, because we have a very strong club service experience. Club service experience in the sense that Ghana South is a club that you can invite to an event and you see all members there dressed wherever you want them to. And they will support you. So, for some people, that is what they love in a club. That I want to do something, and my whole club follow me to that event. Now, you can imagine in a situation, I had a story where a president, a member of the Rotary Club, was having an event, maybe Valley area of Ibadan, somewhere in Ijesha, and he reserved seats for Rotarians. And when people wanted to sit on those seats, table reserved, he told them, don't sit there and reserve for my club members. These are for my club members. Don't sit there. Lo and behold, by the time the event was over, none of the members showed up. Wow. What is his club experience? Zero. So his own Rotary movement has been dashed. Now let us also compare in the days of Babangida. You know, this Rotary that we are enjoying that we go and work in anyhow did not start like this in Nigeria. It started as an egalitarian club where those who can join are the highly placed in Nigeria. And that is why any presentation I do, I will ask clubs, how old is your club? The Rotary Club of Lagos being the second club in Nigeria, who up till today do not have you in their midst dressing like the way I dress. Let me show you how I dress. I think for you I am well dressed, but the Rotary Club of Lagos are not well dressed. If I dress this way, I have to put the Baba and the Agbada on it. Now, that is their own identity. Yes, that is our own culture. Because friends like this Rotary Club of Lagos, they will, even if they don't feel like walking you out, they will stop you and make sure statement that you feel uncomfortable. So that is their own identity. So you have to know what your club identity is. For some people, it is either Rotary Club of Lagos or no other. That is their own culture. That is their own identity. Now, the second point I want to talk about is, so you need to understand what is the culture of the Rotary Club of Anthony Gold. You have to sit down and dissect it. What makes us unique? I know President Fry was saying that we'll be doing something that was not good, but there's nothing that is not good in Rotary, as long as you are not forgetting. The fact that you can choose, I know the aspect is saying that it was a lot of badges. What is badges are the real essence for fellowshipping and networking. But when you now do it to an extent that it depletes the purpose of Rotary, changing our world for good, then you are debating, you are falling into a complete social law. So now the second point I want us to look at is that what products are we selling or are we presenting? Know who you are. Now, is your club, what areas are you looking at? What makes your club tick? What makes your members stay in? There's no district governor that will come to your club and condemn and say, you are not doing project, so you only sit down and enjoy yourself. After that, you just call one person to come and do night training. There are clubs that their purpose of existence is to be like training. For some club, it's about the environment. But has made it so much easier that you can organize a club along the area of focus. Your club for me is traditional club, and it's traditional mode of performing Rotary club where we meet every week. I meet, discuss Rotary, we go. But it has evolved beyond that. We now have clubs that meet online virtually 3 times. We have clubs that meet only online, strictly. Every club is expected to be hybrid or at least online, and that's why we no longer see a club as a model of new club formation, because every club is now in. Now, so for us, for your club, for instance, I'll be saying just Anthony Gold, what is the product you have that makes you unique? You have to be able to identify that. Once you identify that, your prospects or your members looking into that, find joy in what you are doing, and that's why they stay. And if you take that away from them, maybe having them withdraw. So you have to be careful. Now, we know that all of us come with different goals, different aspirations as to joining Rotary. One of us, for instance, my brother said because of his friend. Actually, we had an experience in our club where he's still a member up to now. I don't know if he's still the medical director of our Rotary Hospital. One of our members, BDJ Badejo, is his friend. He introduced him to Rotary. And he will come to meeting and will sit down with us and take his food and be drinking. Now, until we did membership survey, member survey, it was then we realized he was only coming to that to our meeting because he has his friend there and his Buddha is always available. So he did not know anything. He would just say, you usually, when he read the questionnaire, he will show that, we only say, you only had IPP, BP, SAA, SAD. He doesn't know anything about it. But because he's Buddha, he's and his friend is a member, he is still a member. Anytime he comes around, he's still there like that. So for him, that is what makes him to be a good. It's not to say that he does not cherish the contribution and the support to Rotary, but that is what gives him a good. Now, because all of us have different goals, all of us have different reasons to be a member of Rotary Club. It is therefore important for us to come together and channel our effort towards such specific goals that we want to achieve. Now, the RI president, the immediate RI president, Stephanie Ochik, told us when we were at the International Assembly. The International Assembly is a place where all DGs are trained before they take the role of being a governor, usually in the US. So she told us that she was a member of a Rotary Club where they usually will say, this is how we do it. And the same way, there are set of old people, number one. And she was trying to introduce innovation. And they will tell her that this is the way we do it for the last 50 years. And it will continue like that. She left and joined another club she considers as a vibrant club. And she said she had a meaningful experience, club experience in her new club. And that is what led her to now be able to aspire to be RI president of International. What does this tell us? It tells us that we have to be careful to say that this is the way we do it. That's why I'm saying we have to advocate our goals. We have to create some flexibility to allow other people to have their own input to whatever we are doing. Now, the next point is ability to adapt and resolve differences. Because we are human, it is natural that we will keep evolving. The world is changing, the dynamics is changing, the demography is changing. Now, in the world today, the regions that are growing Rotary are Asia and Africa. This is where Rotary is growing at today. Whereas Rotary started from the US, moved to Canada, moved to Europe. Like I told you, it was an egalitarian organization where those who join Rotary are top executives of the organization. And you cannot dress anyhow. But things are changing. Now, America, Canada, all of them are dropping membership. So, Africa, that we are in, and Asia are part of the world that are sustaining growth in membership now. But the important thing we need to look at is that we have to adapt to these changes. Road clubs in America and all over the world has to now evolve to the extent that we have to reflect new realities. You can imagine if Rotary at the moment is for CEOs. In fact, in some country, in Germany for instance, you cannot be a member of Rotary Club if you are not the vice president of the organization. I went to a Rotary Club in Hong Kong, Rotary Club of Hong Kong South. That was in April when we went for youth friendship exchange. The people there are purely elderly, accomplished people who are either retired or they are going to retire. Now, one thing that I noticed there is that they have now begun to adapt by introducing young people. One of the young people they introduced is the DG there, my friend there, who we served together, who is a member of their club. So these are things that we need to do. If they say that they want to do it 100% all the time, probably Nigeria will not have a home in their Rotary club and probably will not be able to them. Now, the other aspect of it is that because we are human, so we have to also be able to find a mechanism to resolve our differences. There has to be use, there will always offend each other. We always cross each other. But because we are matured enough to put mechanism in place where we can resolve our differences. And I can talk of the Rotary Club of Bagada South, for instance, where all of us grew up together. And because of that, we have differences. You can't be ignorant to this. So nobody, except for PDQ, quality job, and the others spoke about, and maybe one or two, maybe about four of them are in their late 60s. All of us are aspiring to be 60 or below 60. Now, when we started, we are 30 plus, 40 plus. So we do each other in and out. So for us to disagree is so easy. But we have to find a way when there are issues to look for ways of resolving it. One, for instance, PDQ now becomes a residual, a depository of knowledge for us to help reconcile disagreeing people. So these are mechanisms we put in place. Now, your club has to also have this kind of system in place. Now, another thing that for you to have a club experience is consistent communication with members. Consistent communication with members. And of course, your community. Because you are a club located within an environment. And because you are located within an environment, you have to not only communicate to your members, you also have the responsibility to communicate with your community. Now, how do we communicate? I know this club will say you have a WhatsApp. Okay, for instance, this is a mode of communication for those members who do not join your voting meeting in person. They will share and join meeting virtually. And I always say it, that this is the best form of a Rotary presence. And with this form of Rotary presence, every Rotarian will not be left out. How do I mean this? When you cannot make it, take for instance, you are stuck in traffic. That traffic usually happen in the last 1 or 2 months. And you cannot get to the meeting, and you have information to pass across, or you have something to receive from the club. And the club does not have this kind of provision for you. You will be frustrated. And to the extent that in some situation where you have desire to come to your meeting, you will say that well, run into traffic, don't let me bother myself. And since there is no online presence. So this is a method of communication. And what do you do with your phone calls when your members are not coming? Who calls them? There are processes where you can do that. You can create a group for each five members, where there will be a group head and there will be other, and where they now work as one leader. They will check on each other. Now, the president inspire his members by sending messages to them. We check on them to learn new things, to learn how they are. There's an experience of days of Babangida. I heard this story from Uji Shoga. That there was a man in those egalitarian days. When I say egalitarian, when to be a Rotarian must be a big man, not people like us. Big man in the sense that you must either be an MP or this or that. So when, for instance, PDG told us that when he was coming to Nigeria, the president of Nigeria then, Shehu Shagari, was him at the airport. So those are the days. Now, you can imagine a situation where someone was a member of the club and he had issues with government when they coup the Buhari period, Buhari here at one time. The man was arrested and incarcerated. Eventually, in those days, Rotary will allow you to come to meeting. If you don't come to meeting for the first time, nobody cares whether you come or not. They will give you yellow card. No, green card for your first access at meeting. Second access at meeting, yellow card. Your third access at meeting, they will send you red card to your house. Now that was the way Rotary started. Now this man, not unknown to the members of the club that he had been arrested, he was under incarceration and he left his office. I mean, he left when they eventually released him. He put on his agbada as usual to go to his Rotary meeting. The wife allowed him to dress and did everything. As he was about approaching the door, the wife asked him, "Where are you going to?" He said, "My Rotary meeting, of course." The wife now brought out the card, the green card, the yellow card, the red card, and the letter of termination and dropped it before him. So you can imagine the kind of experience would that. So if you are in the should that person, whoever go back to Rotary? No. So these are some of the things we need to invite: constant communication, sharing and checking in on our members. Now, the next slide tells us about know your members' interests. For some people, if you ask me what is my own Rotary movement, my own Rotary movement is the experience of having to meet those I never thought I would meet in my life. That experience in itself was such that I love traveling. I met George Rollins, I met the president of Mauritius, that's way back when this one movement. So I met those people that I now saw as role models. I want to be like them. Of course, many of them are also in our district. Those who have accomplished their tasks, who have accomplished their profession. And I now look forward to emulate them. Let me tell you why I chose that as my own area of interest. The president just told us that he understood that I was a member of carried, I was very carried. Being carried means okay, that's what he said. Okay. Well, way back in my university days, I was very active, member of student union. There's no part of the student union I did not work with. I started with student representative council, left that. I was made the welfare of the student union under caretaker arrangement. Because when you want to terminate the life of an executive, protect the house will always appoint the caretaker committee before the election. So for my faculty, I was nominated to be the welfare officer. So I ran to the executive arm for 1 month. Now, after exiting that, I was no longer in the house. I was nominated to be a judge for my faculty, representing my faculty as a member of the Judicial Council. Now, after that, I was nominated as the chief of Kegas. And you know what it means? I needed power. I did as a student union guy. Anything I wanted, I could get it. I could call somebody on campus. And now we now talk it with on very corrosive power. Very corrosive in the sense that if I like a lady and I approach her, she will. So such was the life we lived those days. Then when I finished, I said, what is now truly my interest? Something that will make my life change, that will want to mold me from this. It was a kind of life that you felt you have everything to yourself. Let me go into organized form. And that was why I joined Rotary. To kind of mold me to be in an organization where there are rules and guidelines. And then I now developed interest to want to be somebody, and I needed people who mentor me. And that is my own interest. So make sure that all your members are involved in the activities that it genuinely interests them. You may say because a member will say, this club, we are always sitting here, not saying, which day are we going to the beach to enjoy ourselves? Let us do our good beach event now.
Yes, sir.
It is in the right of that member to talk to you that this is what I want. Yes, and it is the duty of the club to find a way to create that opportunity for her. For the club to have an experience and reach. Because that is what interests her. If you insist and say that because this is the model of meeting all the time, you cannot go to the beach, eventually she will drop out. In dropping out, one of our friends that see, just like my brother said, it is because of his friend that is there. That one want to drop out, then you begin to have attrition. But if you care for his or her experience and interest, you eventually be able to also have a new experience at the beach. For instance, my club, we usually when we were younger, every year one of the present projects is the beach experience in Christmas or December period, where all our families will go there. But look of that now, look at that time. That experience has changed because we kept evolving, our life kept changing. And that's why we say as an organization that is dynamic, the experience changes. So you have to make sure that you allow your member to know what interests them. When you are tired of me, let me know first. If you are when you are tired, don't say, hey, I will close my shop. So then if all members have their experience, and that's why I said we have to aggregate our experiences and set up certain goals. So that is what brings me to what is the need for the club. When we all have our experiences, we have our interests, and we want to actualize them, we still have to bring the interest of the club at the front corner. For that member that always wants to go to the beach, we have to know that it's very expensive to be at the beach. Except the person wants to sponsor all members to go to the beach. Or he or she has a lounge at the beach and will take care of all the entertainment and all of that. We have to do that and it has to do it. But the bad thing is that we have to make the club the center of everything. Bring new practices that can be enjoyable. and members closer and improving the club experience. So go to the next slide. You have to decide where you want your club to be. For instance, Rotary Club of Bagada, where they want to be is to be number one at all the time. And when you ask them what else there is unspoken, but I tell you, the Rotary Club of Bagada has the highest number of district governors in our district. In fact, if the Rotary Club of Bagada chooses to boycott the district will find it very difficult to convey a council of governors, the district will survive. But to convey a council of governors, the Rotary Club of Bagada is almost 2/3. I mean, 1/3 of the whole membership of our council. Now, how do they achieve that? It is so strategic because they want to be on the spot all the time. They are doing what others are not doing. And it's up to your club to want to do that. You can achieve it. You can achieve it. So it's up to your club to want to do that. And in the process, because they want to be on top, they are always producing leaders who are capable of leading the district. And when they come shoulder to shoulder with other clubs, their candidates are emerging. So what are you building for your club members? So it is up to you. For some clubs, it is their desire to produce district government. For some clubs, it's their desire to always travel around the world. For instance, the Rotary Club of Maryland loves that. For some clubs, it is their desire to be the biggest district. Biggest club in the district. As of today, I'm not using Bagada because Bagada is the club. It comes as a ready-made example. It is the largest club in this year as well. So when you look at all of this, it may not be the most vibrant in the sense that are all members enjoying themselves in Bagada. It may not be. But the fact is that they have so much sustained that they have created a synergy in such a way that they are now able, anybody that wants to join them has to fall in line. And that is where you want the club to be. So it's up to the club member. It's up to the club member to decide where you want to be. And this brings me to the next slide. She'll go on. Next slide. Yeah. Set annual goals and record them. Now, because we are a group of people, we must be able to bring our ideas together and set our goals. And that's why we belong to an organization, the Rotary International. We are expected to do certain things, both long range and short range. For every club, I used to say that the best award you can win for your club as president is to win the Club Excellence Award. Yeah, congratulations to Antonio. I know the Club Excellence Award. It used to be called Career Citation Award. That comes directly from Ara. The award that we do at district level is our own creation to motivate ourselves, and that in a way has helped the district. One, it makes club to strive for excellence. It makes club to strive for recognition. And so members are more committed. And that, in a way, has helped us as a district to grow. Because last year I told the president that you cannot become number one if you don't form a group. I want to become number one. And Dr. Banjo was my new club advisor and did not form a club for Antonio. For this year. I would want to see you form a club for Antonio. Because not every member that comes here, everybody that comes here will find your club suitable. Your meeting format, the kind of people he or she sees. So if you find that next set of people, create their own entry for them and let them enjoy themselves. At best, refer them to other clubs so that they will not lose interest in Rotary. So you need to set your goals as to what you want to achieve. You need to upgrade your goals on Rotary Club Central. There are club presidents who are analog. I don't know if Gary is analog, but I want to bet that he is over digital. If you have an experience where you have your president that is analog, you have to find ways of using people who are digital or internet savvy to be able to help you upload your book. Last year, I have an experience where a president would not even upload our goal till the last 2 months of the Rotary year. One of their members is there. And so that person could not even change anything. And they was not even on Rotary Club Central as president. So that is one of the important things. So you have to know how to do Rotary. And that is why, like the president said before at the start of the meeting, there are a lot of learning opportunities on the Rotary Center, Rotary Club Center. There is a learning center. Rotary is a school that you cannot finish learning. You can't finish learning in Rotary. You keep evolving. Rotary keeps evolving. What you saw that was right yesterday will be wrong today. For instance, from this Rotary year, the trainings have changed. Even though the rovers have been in our district, we're quick to change the DTTS to DTLS, which was the anticipation of Rotary. It has not been passed before, and rovers have been. We changed birth to bless. But officially, RI the Council of Legislation, we met in April, just resolved that these trainings or facilitation should change name to all these things. And you can imagine if you are a Rotarian 2 years ago and you come this year and start arguing that it is wrong, it's no longer, it is not blessed, it is pet. And I will be talking rubbish. So we always need to avail ourselves the opportunity of learning. Everybody in Rotary is a student. We are all learners. Because Rotary, our organization is in dynamic and keeps evolving. Then promote transparency, encourage your club members to view your Rotary Central. I know every one of us has a Rotary account. Is there anybody who does not have a Rotary account? If you are not able to access it, you have to tell us. Can you tell us? Even if you don't raise your hand, you have that challenge. Please approach anybody that you have this challenge and hold you. Now, another way to resolve most of our challenges is to set your goals and hold club assembly as many as possible. I'll use the Rotary Club of Bagara South as an example. The Rotary Club of Bagara South is the only club that has a satellite club in our district as of now. We were able to achieve that last Rotary year because we were not able to reach the number to start the Rotary Club of Ojuki. And as such, because most of the members are friends of members of the Rotary Club of Bagara South, some of the members are spouses of members of the Rotary Club of Bagara South. Then said, let us start them off as satellite club. Satellite club is a member, is an offshoot of the parent club. But they meet remotely on their own. They will have their own little law, but they are also members of their own club. For instance, the satellite club we have Rotary Club of Bagada, Rotary Satellite, Bagada South Rotary Satellite Club of Ojuki Golding does not have a different heading. No, it's actually an RI. That is all RI. But all members pay their dues through Bagada South. This is one way we can start new club. Now, what am I trying to say is that when you experience that, because it is new, the incoming president, current president, keep dictates, a lot of members make noise about it. And this is wrong, oh, this is a well dictated thing. It is not tradition of another sort. At the end of the day, not known unknown to them, it is there in the bylaw of the club. When I got to the meeting and they were arguing it, I just got out the law. This is your bylaw. It says that this law will have a satellite law. And they are saying it is illegal. It is not illegal. So, and it was at the club assembly. Club assembly is where all members are free to attend, just like we are here. All members alone, no guests allowed. Not strictly for board members. Board meeting is for board members. So, and if you have issues that will divide your club, take it to the club assembly and resolve it amicably. Now, communicate openly. Every Rotarian has to have a voice. This is one of the cries I made when I was presenting my goal. For us to have an inclusive club, a club that every member will enjoy, will have an experience. We have to make sure that we talk openly, everybody's voice counts. Adapt the dialogue to reflect all those changes that you usually legislate on, probably at your club assembly or at your board meeting. So you have to make sure that you make your bylaw as dynamic as possible. For instance, in my experience of going to clubs, we still have clubs who were using the bylaws of. In fact, I had club where they are not the bylaw of Rotary Club of Maryland. And the Rotary Club of Maryland's bylaw was such that if you have not been a member of the board for so years, you cannot be president. If you have not paid $500 to the Rotary Foundation, you cannot aspire to be president for a new club. And I told the club, and I told the president of the city club there that she herself was not qualified to be on her seat. So there are some of the things we need to be conscious of to create it. Now the next slide says coach your new leaders. You have to be able to ensure that you equip your members with the required knowledge necessary for them to feel involved in Rotary. So create practical committees. We all know the committees that are available. But the basic ones are membership, public image, service project, Rotary Foundation, and club administration. Now, the essence is that you ensure that all members are in one committee or the other, and each member has a role. To the extent that if such member is not at meeting, you will know that he or his name or her name will be called. For instance, under club administration, someone can be in charge of club attendance record. Someone can be a greeter at the gate to welcome members or guests. One of them can be the one who will be to organize the fellowship drinks. So there are always levels. But for big clubs, it is expected that they have an organigram that will reflect their structure. I was always using this when I was teaching to tell clubs adopt your club organigram as it reflects your club. You will not be able to engage your member meaningfully. For instance, a club like yours may not do much work we have. The basic structure level. So, but for a big club like Bagada, they will have to create a structure that even the meeting attendance committee will have another structure, and you have to be able to take that. So I'll go to the next slide. I think When you are done, implement the ideas that you have chosen for yourself, incorporate those ideas, and ensure that you experiment them before you put them into your pilot, so that you don't put yourself in a very tight corner. You tie yourself up before you know it, you are at standstill. And the last slide is where I wrote, as I close this presentation, note that your club is numbered among over 35,000 Rotary clubs around the world. Your club is unique and must continually keep members engaged, create club experience, develop mechanisms for resolving conflicts, develop high-level strategies for membership growth and development among community of clubs. Please, RI tools such as member survey and club health check to help diagnose challenges. These are online tools that if you Google it now on my Rotary, you want, or even check on Google to I want to member survey. That was how we discovered the man that really come to meeting. I only had to do that. That was what sustained me. We did not know anything about Rotary. It was through member survey that we got that. Our club was doing that concert before. Right now, we are doing of that. Then you can also do your club health check to know how your club is faring. What are the feelings of your members towards your club? And finally, I thank you for listening to me. And I hope
If you want to be a good leader, join the Rotary. If you want to be a good speaker, join the Rotary. Oh, join me, join the Rotary. Join me, join the Rotary. Join me, join the Rotary. Be a good speaker. Thank you so very much, my RPDG. I think I've learned more, and like I mentioned to everyone, when we decide to bring this on, and people should be ready to come and learn. Mostly for me, it has always been around how to ensure that the legacies of the past presidents, because they're very, very big shoe to fill. If I tell you I enjoy Rotary, you will really laugh. But I'll keep it for maybe personal conversation when we are having conversation outside. Yes. A woman that changed for Rotary. I wasn't prepared for the role, and I wasn't even interested, if you know what I mean. But my very good friend must have said something in me that made me decide that, okay, you know what, you have to be the next person. And I took on the role. I've been learning because we've had our issues, we've been able to resolve it amicably, which is one of the key things you mentioned, conflict resolution. But conflict resolution also has to do with the mentality and how mature individuals involved in this particular, whatever the issues were, right? My own issue was I felt my friend disrespected me. But he is the president. The issue shouldn't be discussed when he's wearing the collar. If he had removed the collar, we can meet outside and we'll fight to a standstill. And I was privileged to have very experienced members who were able to present this matter to me in a way that I will understand and be able to swallow. Perspective always matters to me. But when you're dealing with some other people that are very difficult, at some point you need to just. I have a very short fuse. If you get what I mean. I'm trying to also manage it because of my particular role now, and to be able to give good leadership for the members who has put their trust in me, so that I don't also let them down. Again, I also want to ensure that everybody is involved, carry people along. But the truth is, at some point, you need to make a call and just move forward. I'll give you a typical example. We paid for this early bird for about 10 people. Some people joined the fund and were able to, and we have 10 tickets that people should pay. I'm not sure we could utilize those 10 tickets. Rotary, we have 10 people yet. Even though we said people should. Yeah, but it hasn't still been fully utilized. We need to close it at some point so that whoever is interested should take it up. Or the people that paid for it should.
You remember can take it up. maybe the new members. You get what I'm saying? But again, we need to find a way to ensure that everybody's opinion is heard, right? So that people also need to speak up when you have issues, when something is, if you feel something is not right, so that we find a mutually beneficial position to resolve those issues and then ensure that it is fair to all concerned without losing the essence of the reform as well. So thank you so very much, my BJ. It's been a call-like session for me. I'd love to quickly open the floor, 3-4 minutes. We have questions. Do we have any questions from any Rotarians so that we can get clarity from our questions?
For those online, the CP is online.
My CP, I recognize you, sir. Thank you for joining. Double CP. The rest of the people online, we are very recognized. Please, do you have questions for my IPPG?
My president, my IPPG, sir, are very notorious. I just I truly would say that in a point that I was struggling to pick the lecture, I think it has to do with the problem that comes from my end. I was seriously meeting of people to grab, or the most aware of people to grab, I would say that the IPPD justice to that. Let me attend my IPPD in all truth that this law is a club that is still a big part of it. And I must commend all members at my IPPD. I need to commend members because I haven't been around and to put people with a place that's not until when we had someone like Showman in the club. At the onset, I would say we were struggling. But today I'm impressed with the way Rotarians respond to district functions and other clubs functions. And they are moving at a very alarming speed, thanks to about the last 3 presidents. And I can see that this present president is very really trying to grow. And so the president, I want to say that you're doing very well. Thank you. Please just give you, I have not been around and it's difficult for me to be around this people. Until I die for police, it's going to be that tough. That's the plain truth. But I'm very impressed at the club shooting today, very fair. It is very fair. Everybody is standing in the road, everybody is attending functions and learning at a very alarming speed. Thanks for taking afterwards the last president and the president before that, and even the one before that. I think we will do this. I think it is very good. Very, very personal job. And I think a lot of take it. And president, let me appeal that the slide was there on the platform to have some of the people meet up. If possible, able to pass it on later for other people. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, my CP. I also recognize all the other people online. Do we have questions from anyone else online?
We have PhD Elewumi from Ikoyi Metro. There's no question.
Recognize other people.
Yes, briefly, I've been given permission by the president to recognize our members online. We have Rotary Adedeji Opeyemi. We have Isa Musa, guest of the club. We have Rotary Aneka, the president-elect. We have PhD Dele Oyewumi, you are right, from Ikoyi Metro. And that's all I can say for now. Thank you, my president.
Thank you so very much. Do we have any other questions here? Okay.
My United Presidents are the immediate past district governor, past president of clubs, present other United President. I am Rotarian Army Mohammed Bevan, and I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Kenya Hausa.
So my question to the MDG is around getting young people involved in Rotary to transit from Rotaract to Rotary. A lot of contractors are actually interested in transiting to Rotary. One of the key things that I've observed is keeping young people, in the comfort zone of Rotaract is should I say the level of social vibes that exists within Rotaract is not yet obtainable in Rotary. And a lot of us don't want to disconnect with that. Though RI has made it easy for contractors to become Rotarians and still maintain the status of a contractor. So my question now is, how does that relationship work? Being a contractor and also being a Rotarian. Thank you.
Well, you see, when I was defining who we are, I said we are 1.4 million Rotarians and Rotaractors that are found in over 200 countries and geographical locations. That is who we are. Rotary used to be a program of Rotary, but now the Rotary is a partner to Rotary. As such, the membership of the district is also determined by the number of Rotaractors that we have. They also have the same experience Rotarians have. They have their own Rotary center. They have everything that Rotary has. But Rotary can start a Rotary. Rotary now can do global grant. In the past, they cannot do district grant. But now they do district grant on their own. I know about 5 Rotary clubs benefited from district grant as Rotary here. And now they can do global grant with Rotary clubs. Now it tells us that the gap that existed between Rotary and Rotary has thinned out. When we were in Rotary, those days we see Rotarians as idol. And bad enough, some of them did not even see us as people they should embrace. And that is one area that has to change. It's still there to an extent. But for me, I tell people, if you kill their spirit, then you are killing the spirit of Rotary. Now, how do we reconcile or bridge the gap between being a member of Rotary and Rotary? Well, for us in this part of the world, may not be visible. A lot of the experience, especially Rotary is doing, they work in other clans, such as Igbo, so as to encourage people. But for us here, it may be difficult, it may be double picking for you to be a contractor and be a Rotarian, because you pay. So the best I can advise is that you can, just like I said at the start of my presentation, if contractors feels they want to start, they want to be Rotarians, they can come together, one, as a group, and start their own club. That club that started like that, Bagada South, Rotary Club of Bagada South, Rotary Club of Maryland, Rotary Club of New Lagos, and which other club? I think those are the 3 clubs that I have identified and are likely completed by examples. Now, you can come together. That way, for instance, my club started with 15,000. That's way back 2001. 15,000 was our due. We wanted to join Bagada, but we realized we can't cope. Those of us that left the program and joined Bagada, they were pushed out to join because they can't cope. But we started today. My club can shoulder to shoulder with Bagada. Now, in fact, in terms of success, we are as successful as Bagada. In terms of our years, we are 20, we were chartered in 2003, and this is 2025, we are 22 years old. And my club is 89 members. It has 2 past district governors. has about 4 district treasurers, 2 past district secretaries, uncountable number of past assistant governors, and like it. So it's up to contractors who want to belong to Rotary to create a niche for themselves and choose what they want for themselves. If you have people who are that way, as long as they have a job they are doing, because I used to tell people, Rotary is not for poor. As much as it's not for rich people, it's also not for poor. It's for people who can feed themselves, feed their family, and have leftover to help the community. That is what it is. So if they can do this criteria and they are good character, an adult of good character, they qualify. It doesn't matter whether they are 22 or 25 or they are 100 years. I hope I answered.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, IPDG. I think to lighten the situation a bit, we've been having this session since, everybody has been, I'm sure we've all picked up a thing or two. Can we quickly have a song to soften the atmosphere? But before I do that, I'd love to acknowledge the presence of my fellow newbies. I think I saw Rotary Pepper Colville. You're recognized, sir. Please bring your chair. Just come and find the seat somewhere beside us. Yeah, I also have Rotary Alex. Please grab your chair. Thank you so much for fellowshipping with us. We have any other newbies in the house? Okay, I think that's about it. Yeah, I'll love to quickly appoint our SA. My Lord, Dad, please come and show. Can you please decorate Rotary George, as I say for today?
When you have busy ladies, you have to respect. I'm not trying to reject you. Just for the attention.
So, Rotary needs to take our greeter, please come and decorate Rotary George Tony Golden Way. Make sure you give him his full honors. Thank you. Quickly. While we're doing that, my IPP today, please can you choose a song so you can quickly have a song today. One song, real quick. Who's taking pictures? Give him a target, please.
What am I doing?
My president, my
IPB.
my presented president, fellow Rotarians, guests and friends, I'm returning to
I'm not in the bedroom now.
I'm returning to decorate Rotarians, George, to be our FA, and give me a target of
Stop now.
I'll give you a target of 200.
Small.
Really?
Small.
Okay.
Look at 2 of you.
Hold
on, that at discretion. If you decide not to do that,
all right, thank you. We'll cast you. Let's talk to the song.
Which song?
It says, we will Rotary.
Okay.
I've sponsored this song with the sum of 10,000. What did yeah. Let's say get support. I will support my president with the sum of 5,000. Okay. Any other support?
if I come to you, you give me your support. I think my advantage is should I start? Sir, my president, sir, it seems you are taking it down. But I shouldn't have. Let's go ahead. Okay. My United President. I like cash.
Please dig in transfer. Can you transfer? Show it. There's account details at the back.
Okay, the sum to the account details. This one only 5,000.
Can you take
Okay, I would like to thank the president. Chief, before you. 5,000. Another 5,000. My president, 5,000.
Okay. Okay. While you are doing that, let's quickly present. So we have to read them.
Okay. Please, if you know you are not putting your lapel pin,
This is some. We also invite. I'm thinking about please join me. Please, all the my presidents, please join me. Let's do this together. Let's unite. Let's do this united. Real quick.
Merci.
All right, all the united presidents, please join me. My people. Thank you so much. On behalf of all of us, Atari Anthony Golding, we hereby present this award to you, sir, in recognition of the service to humanity. Thank you, sir.
No, who said it? Want to go?
How much have we gotten?
Jordan.
All right, please can we continue the meeting? Show please my care, but we all know the Rotary, so please definitely take the song while we wait for everyone else to join. La 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 la. Every good night raises your mental clock. Carrying the message of salvation. Rotary, viva la Rotary, viva la Rotary. Love is our life, viva la Rotary. Something is from demonstrating it now. Viva la Rotary. Nothing is more than a fearless house. Viva la Rotary, Rotary, viva la Rotary, viva la Rotary. Truth is our right, love is our right. Viva la Rotary. The grooming of man is a duty we play. Viva la Rotary. Let's carry your business with faith to and in. Viva la Rotary. Viva la Rotary. Viva la Rotary. Truth is our right. Love is our right. Viva la Rotary. The man with smile. The man with a smile is a fellow with me. Viva la Rotary. Who loses himself in the shedding of grace. Viva la Rotary. Rotary. Viva la Rotary. Viva la Rotary. Truth is our right, love is our right. Viva la Rotary. The lady with heart is our fellow with me. Viva la Rotary. Who loses herself in the shedding of grace. Viva la Rotary. Rotary, viva la Rotary, viva la Rotary. Truth is our right, love is our right. Viva la Rotary. Thank you. Please let's be seated. We'll round this up in the next 10 minutes so we can get to other things. I think to a large extent we share most of the other items of this. Can we just move to do we have any information from the district? The project, my project chair, we need to see so that we can have a couple of discussions for this project for the month of September. Besides that, club admin, we have information from the district. Okay, AOB.
The president, fellow Rotarians, I just want to remind us, as we all know, this month is basic education and development. We just having a membership seminar which we ought to have had last month due to preparation of our investiture, and we all agreed to have it today. So by God's grace, during our next meeting, we'll be having someone to talk to us on basic education and literacy, and I want all members to turn out in large number like this to support the club and the president. Also, we should not forget that this month happens to be our DG visit month. The last fellowship of this month will be our DG visit. By God's grace, if time permits us, during the next meeting, we will be having some review of our DG visit, the plans we up to, our plans for DG visits, the project we'll be doing, and how the DG visit will look like. and a lot of us will be involved in one way or the other, because during the DG visits, as discussed with the president, we will be carrying out our maternal and child health projects, if I'm right, my president, and the basic education and literacy, and we need our members on ground to participate, run around things, and make sure the DG visit is a very good one, so that we have a wonderful outing. And also, a lot of our members will be having, before the DG visit, we'll be having a DG visit rehearsal, in which all board members, we go through all is expected of them as a board member. So please, let's prepare ourselves that this month is going to be very busy for us, very, very busy for us. Thank you, my president.
Thank you very much. Any other AOBs? AOB, anyone online? Do we have any feedback from the people online? All right, in the absence of any, can we quickly have our SAA so that we can shut this down? SAA, you have 2 minutes, please. All right, 2 minutes. Just go around.
Please, as I come to you, 5,000. SAA.
I think on that, let's go around so that it's from the let's have that.
Okay. All right. He's asking for himself. No.
Members online, let's drop our support for site donation and next day on the WhatsApp group, please.
Please, everyone online, please drop your essay and share the receipt to the WhatsApp platform. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we get everybody inside? We have our members outside so that we can get our essays.
Yes,
around.
transfer. How much do you transfer? Please,
So everybody, you see, you can ask.
Oh, my Rotary, I'm very. My Rotary. Are you
Yeah, do we have a concern with here? You say what? There is a concern with here. Just the man like says, I'm not somebody is doing
Please, I'm coming for my fine money.
I say, please, let's ask every member that is outside.
There's no member. I can't go and pursuing them or get the place. I don't even know where it's inside. Or where it's outside yet. They are not there. Yes? How much? Fine.
Thank you very much, Rotary.
Use Rotary patient. We have another Rotary. Okay, yeah, I'm going to show you. No, use Rotary for you. We have another
All right. Please. Hello, everybody. Can we please charge up our cups? Please charge up your cups with Coke for now. Ladies and gentlemen, please charge up your cups. Can we be upstanding? Let's quickly take the toast. My United President, Revolution Lagos, please sit down. So here's the revolution. All right, let's appreciate. Here's a cheers to RC Revolution Lagos.
Revolution Lagos.
Bagara South.
Bagara South. Koyi Metro.
Koyi Metro. BI.
Yaba Coffee.
Yaba Coffee.
Magoro. Mende. Alausa. Royal Metro Ikeja.
Thank you all, everybody from all those clubs for fellowshipping with us. And here is to the bestest club in District 912, RC Anthony Goldie. And here's to our district that brought all of us together, District 9112.
9112.
And of course, our parent body, Rotary International. Cheers. People. All right. Now we please quickly take the Rotary break.